XLI Education Study in USA assured scholarship. Contact 9881 96666.
Interesting startup which will be what makes you to take that step, because you were already well settled in your job. So that time you were thinking, okay, let me get out of my good job, the comfort zone, and get into my own brand. What makes you to think that? What inspired you?
I worked in different industries, so I have a proper multifold experience. I always wanted to do something on my own. I had responsibilities that I had to take care of. So once I was done with taking care of my responsibilities, I decided to live for myself.
Okay, so you can
And I
really
have my
take a risk.
daughter's full support for this.
Welcome to my show, Trendsetter. Well, I really got inspired when I just spent a little bit time with her. She started her journey, a startup, interesting startup, which we'll discuss about that at the age of 50. People always say 50, oh my God. First, I also got shocked. So what is this spicy, interesting journey about that? We'll find out, and we'll come to know age is just a bar. Really, I mean, you'll be surprised. So let me introduce you this lady who's 50. I don't know, she'll be feeling good or not that I'm again and again, telling her about that 58. But she has startup, and what is the startup is all about? So let's find out more, and let me welcome you, Alka ma'am. Thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you.
was really like, when I was spending a time before this interview, I was just exploring so much about you. I mean, I was saying, oh my God, I didn't plan so many questions, but now you have created so many questions in my brain. So first of all, I would like to know how you started this journey, startups, and how got inspired. What is your journey professionally, what you are, from where you are, so that we can have a little bit background about you.
Well, I'm an ex-banker. I worked with one of India's leading private sector banks for almost 19 years, and
Oh
it
my
was
God.
in the payment business. So I've seen all sides of the payment business, issuance, acquiring, how do you mitigate risk, what are the kind of policies you need to have in place, what are the kind of checks and balances you need to have in place. And as an entrepreneur, you have to wear multiple hats. So when I'm wearing the sales guy's hat, I'm like, karo, sab kuch karo.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, when the applications come in, and then I wear the risk hat and say, no, let's not do this.
Yes.
Right? So, but yes, my ex-employer empowered me with a lot of knowledge on how to run the business. And one thing extremely good about them was that each of our departments was like a profit center. So we were like the entrepreneurs of our department. We had complete say on who we hire, how we hire. If we don't, get our numbers, then how do we work on strategies to get better numbers? So that part of it already came with the experience.
Okay.
And I always tell people that you want to start up a entrepreneurship, a venture, please take some experience and then start something on your own. Just don't start it because of the fire or the passion you have in your heart, because you don't know what the real world is like after college. You still need to learn what the real world is like.
But we are seeing a lot of young people, like they are getting into this profession of starting their own ideas, and they have been successful. What is your take on that?
Unfortunately, for every success, there are 10 failures. And we would have a lot less failures if they knew how to run their business. No business school in the world can equip you for the kind of heartaches and the successes that an entrepreneur journey brings. It's not possible at all for someone fresh out of college to be able to know exactly everything, how everything works, how does, you know, take just a D2C brand, right? They would have the bookish knowledge of how to build the brand, how to do the marketing, how to create visibility, how to approach customers, and then they won't know anything about how to manage the accounting.
Money,
They
the
will
main
bleed
part.
and they won't know that they're bleeding, or they will know that they're bleeding but they don't know how to control the bleed and how to make it a profitable business. And this can only come if you have worked somewhere, right? What are the kind of licenses required? What are the kind of compliance stuff to be done? This knowledge, unfortunately, our education system does not impart actual workforce ready knowledge to anybody. And that's why I always suggest, please get some experience, please 2 to 3 years of corporate experience, if possible, and then in the manufacturing industries, because that is where it is a lot more diverse in terms of, you have various departments, you get to learn how each department functions. Because when you are an entrepreneur, you are the chaprasi, the mailman, and the guy who seals the courier packets, also the guy who goes to the courier office and hands over the packet
It's
and
your
pays
baby,
for it.
right?
Right?
You have to make it
When a
grow.
courier comes, there is nobody to take a courier on your behalf and sign for it and then file it. You have to go through it. You have to check, what needs to be done. You have to file it yourself. So it's very important to have these basic knowledge base or skill set before starting a journey. I'm extremely happy for those entrepreneurs who have been able to, make a success of themselves. I'm really happy for them. A lot more would be successful if they had this additional tools.
But do you think when you, I mean, again, I have to mention that, I hope you don't mind 50, like as you said,
I'm 54.
Now you're 54. Okay. So you started your journey when you were 50.
When I was 51, yes.
Okay, so but maybe in the 50 you've started thinking whether should I go or not. What makes you to take that step? Because you were already well settled in your job, and then at that time, we always think, okay, up now it's time for relaxation. Okay, we can balance the work and the life, or the struggles we have gone through. So that time you were thinking, okay, let me get out of my good job, the comfort zone, and get into my own brand. What makes you to think that? What inspired you?
Well, a lot
and
of
age,
things.
especially people say, oh, as
Age-
early you start
Age
your business,
is just
it's good.
a number. Age is just a number.
You prove that, no doubt.
I come with the overall work experience of about 30 years.
Wow.
Right? I've worked in different industries, right from selling generator sets, right? Switchboards, heavy electrical stuff, to selling yellow pages. I was part of the team that set up the first McDonald's outlet in the country.
Wow.
In Delhi.
Okay.
Right? I've done exhibitions, then I joined a bank. So I have a proper multifold experience. I always wanted to do something on my own. But I had commitments. I had responsibilities that I had to take care of. So once I was done with taking care of my responsibilities, I decided to live for myself.
Okay, so you get
And I
ready to
have my
take a risk.
daughter's full support for this.
So you were ready to take a risk, you mean to say that?
Absolutely. You need a backup. You need some kind of a backup, right? You need to be able to have somebody to fall back on.
Yes.
When you start your entrepreneur journey.
So how this Pay 8 came to your mind and you started? What is this all about, if you can elaborate on that?
Well, we are a payment gateway platform. We help businesses who are selling online to be able to sell like an Amazon or a Flipkart, right? We help them with getting them multiple modes of payment. We offer more than 160 plus modes of payment. We help with the routing of transactions. We help with reconciliations. So we do the entire back office part of the work for them. So you have to remember that the mid-sized businesses only have time for one thing, which is increasing their sales.
Yes.
Right? If I am able to take away the back-end portion of their heartache, they will be able to succeed much better. Right? So that is what I do. I work primarily with mid-sized businesses, Of course, our payment stack is good enough for any of the large enterprise clients as well. But we've chosen to work with the smaller ones who cannot afford a huge team, a huge infrastructure, etc.
So when did idea click to you, and how people responded to that, and what was your Reiki on that particular, before starting this business? What goes in your mind?
Well, the business started primarily because being in the payment industry, being in the payment space, that is what I knew for the last 19 years that I've worked with my ex-employer. And when the servers at my ex-employer's place went down for 10 days continuously, a lot of our merchants, businesses who were using our payment gateway, who were using our EDC machines, asked me, Alka, we have given you business because you came and asked us for business. Now, if your bank server is not working, route us elsewhere. As a banker, I can't. But as a fintech technology service provider, I can. I can route them to multiple banks, multiple payment gateways. They don't have to worry about their credibility, because today, if you want to buy this beautiful watch that you're wearing, right? You go to website A. If you're not able to make the payment, you will not say the payment gateway isn't working. You will say that the website isn't working. The website is down.
Okay.
You will go somewhere else and you will buy the same watch, maybe even 20 bucks higher, right? For that business, which is a small size business, he's lost a customer.
Yeah.
Now, in the entrepreneur world, we talk about CAC, customer acquisition cost, right? So when we're talking about the customer acquisition cost, we have to remember that it's very expensive to bring a customer in. But once you lose a customer, that customer's gone forever.
Yeah.
He's not going to come back. When you have to buy a watch tomorrow for your daughter, you may not go to
Same
the
platform.
store A, right? You may say, no, their system is a little finicky. There may be a new guy C who's come in. Okay, so you may not go to A, you may not go to B where you bought the watch. You may go to C, right? If that guy has a payment problem as well, you just go to an Amazon. Now, on an Amazon kind of a platform, it's extremely good that sellers are able to sell more. But the catch is that they have to participate in the gala.
True.
Right? Which means that they spend a lot more than when they are selling individually. So these businesses that are selling individually is what I'm helping.
That's the idea clicked in your mind.
Absolutely.
And it worked, right? It's been how many years?
I have paying customers. We are 3 years old company now. We have customers who are working with us.
Big clients?
None of them are big clients.
Okay.
All small guys.
Okay.
If I have to tell you, in Hyderabad, I work with the likes of Shah Electronics, which is, I think, the biggest customer that we have, right? We work with telephone, mobile stores. We work with a few education institutions. We work with a few diagnostic labs, healthcare. So
one idea changed the life. So what was the interesting part, like investment? What was your first investment you have to take out from your pocket or first to invest?
Well, if you don't invest, you can't form a company in the country.
Of course, but what was your first investment? It was a big amount or
so
small?
It was 20 lakhs.
My God, 20 lakhs.
Between my co-founder and me.
How much you invested, like your money?
So mine is 16 lakhs.
Okay, yours was 16. And now you made it?
Sorry, 15 lakhs and his is 5 lakhs.
Okay, so from 15 lakh, it's like full flag is up.
So today our valuation, pre-money, we are looking to raise funds right now, and our pre-money valuation is about 70 crores.
Wow, great journey in 3 years. Lot of hard work, I must say.
Yes.
So I mean, with 15 lakhs,
I've forgotten what is Sundays. I've forgotten all other holidays.
You worked hard, really.
We worked hard. And I've been very lucky. My team has worked hard with me as well.
So what tip you tell to all the women out there? We always, somewhere they get a boundary, oh, this much is your age to work this much, or you have responsibility, and then you should have a family support. So many, myths and auras is always put in the woman's mind. How you cross it? Because as you've been very independent and, you've been also had a great struggles in your life, how you take this and give inspiration to other women there.
Well, I
And we
believe
look for a man support. We always like, okay, somebody should be there to support us. And you are a woman who done everything on your own, right?
well, you have to. Would you ask the same question of a man if he was doing it?
They always say, oh, I have my
wouldn't.
wife taking care of kids or something like that. But you were taking care of kids also.
Yeah.
So I would like to know about that journey. How you came to Hyderabad? You're not from Hyderabad,
I'm
right?
not from Hyderabad. I was born and raised in Bangalore.
Okay.
I got promoted. My boss sent me to Hyderabad, said, go, we need an area head, go.
Oh.
And I will bring you back in 3 years. But 3 years never happened.
That's so now that you're a Hyderabadi. Now Hyderabad loves
I
you.
don't have a single address proof of Bangalore anymore.
Okay, okay. So everything is in Hyderabad now.
Yes.
So then after that?
So I continued staying in Hyderabad. I worked across, while I was based in Hyderabad, I worked across geographies, handled the entire South. The last posting that I had was where I was managing all the large strategic accounts pan-India. So there was a lot of travel.
So because of work you come to Hyderabad. You
I
tasted
came,
the
I came
city.
only because of work. Yeah, when I came to Hyderabad, I didn't know a word of Telugu.
Okay.
I could, and so because I'm from Bangalore, I could read the language, but I didn't understand what I was reading.
Okay, I understand. So what's your journey as being a woman, like marriage or talk about your kids? How like?
Well, I was married when I was 25. I had my first daughter when I was 26.
Oh my God. So fast.
I had,
You okay?
I had my second child when I was 28.
Okay.
And then we had some differences and decided that it's probably better, to part ways. So I did bring up my daughter single-handed, alone.
Both
of them.
You
of
got
course.
It was no co-parenting?
In our days, there was no word called co-parenting.
Oh, okay.
There was mera hai, tumhara hai. That's it. There was no co-parenting terminology. All of these are new things that are now coming and which are very good for the children, because I do believe that the children need both the parents to be present in their lives. Now, psychologically, it has been proven that children from a well-formed family do much better than children of single parents.
Yes.
So it has been proven, and therefore I completely agree with the concept of co-parenting, but हमारे ज़माने में वो नहीं था.
But I must appreciate just taking both the girls' responsibility on your hand, and then you're doing your job, then you're planning the things. How you do all that? How you manage? Already you're managing a good amount of money with your profession.
Well,
but
it was easy because I did not look at my daughters as my responsibility. They were mine.
Yes.
If I do not take care of them, who's going to take care of them? We don't have foster care home system in India, no? मेरी बेटियां हैं, मुझे ही देखना है. And I never regretted for a moment fighting for the custody of the girls. I was happy that I got their custody. I think to the best of my belief and to the best of my abilities, I've given them whatever best I could. The best in education, the best, in every damn thing. So, yeah, when they were growing up, it was a little tough because
they were very small
you are torn.
at that
as
time.
A parent, you are torn between your responsibilities as a parent and your responsibilities at the office. But if you have built a good support system, right, to take care of your home front, then you will be able to excel very well in office.
But I must say, Alka, at that time, taking a separation, divorce, it was a big thing. Then people most of the time think, oh, you have 2 daughters, how can you do that? It was really a now in this time also people think 100 times.
And those days, people used to say there must be something wrong with her, and that's why she was divorced.
Yes. They were not open-minded like today
They were not open-minded like they are today, and I had my fair share of all of that.
We were strong that time only, so I think numbers are real.
So you have to just listen only to your inner voice. As long as you know you are right, there will be a lot of voices around you. And this is in every sphere of life. There'll be a lot of voices around you. Somebody will want to pull you down. Somebody will want you to question your motives, to question your decisions. And if you are convinced, right, and if you know that what you are doing is right, there is no way on earth that you will not succeed.
True.
Now, if you are, obviously, if you're going to say, so and so said this, and maybe it's not right, and like I'll tell you an example. My girls had typhoid,
Okay.
and that was the year end for us. We had a lot of stuff to close up in the bank. We had an audit coming up, right? So I wasn't able to take 10 days leave and sit at home, but I had built a strong support system. I had a maid who was extremely good. She took care of my girls as, her own children. And so I continued working. Then the girls were all right. They went to school, and 3 days later, the younger one had a relapse.
Oh.
She had a typhoid for the second time. And I got really worried. I went to the hospital with the girl, and the doctor said, "Are you not ashamed of yourself? Is your job more important than your daughter? Why are you not taking care of her?" And I felt a little guilty. So I said, "Okay, fine, I will take leave. I will sit at home." I told my boss, we didn't have work from home concept. Okay. That's something that COVID has brought in. So I told my boss, I need 10 days leave. He said, "Okay, fine, you have leave, take it." I sat at home. Third day, I didn't know what to do because she's a small baby. She wakes up, she takes her medicine, eats, sleeps.
Independent
That's
child.
all she's doing.
Okay.
And because she's not well, the only thing that she can do is sleep, and the antibiotics were pretty strong. So they were very sleep-inducing as well. So after the third day, I said, "Okay, fine." I asked I was living with my dad then. So I asked my dad, "What do you think? Should I go back to office?" He said, "Please go.
Wow.
I can't handle you being in the house. You're just all over the place.
Yeah,
Go."
yeah. That's the spirit of work. Yeah, the passion, love for work.
And I am today, whatever I am, I attribute it to my girls. They have been
Great.
very mature, very understanding. I don't think I could have been successful or otherwise anywhere in my life if it were not for my girls, if it was not for the encouragement that they gave me. Today my girls are my best friends.
I
Back
know.
then they were kids.
So now they have a woman leader at home or a woman boss at their home. Like you must say,
At home I'm
greet the
not a
kids.
boss. At home I'm not a boss.
Okay.
There's this funny saying that
Yeah.
that used to go on in my office, I was a bit of a terror or a hard taskmaster, and my team used to say, "हम लोग सब अलका बॉस से डरते हैं, अलका बॉस अपने बच्चों से डरती है."
So I must appreciate, like, your girls have made a woman leader, or must say a woman
yes.
businesswoman they have created. So how they react to it, like when they see your achievements, or they say, "Oh, mama, we also want to join your business," or they want to be also a woman entrepreneur or something.
My elder one is settled in Australia.
Okay.
I don't think she's coming back to India and working ever.
Oh.
My younger one has studied psychology. She's going to go on to do her master's in psychology
Okay.
this year or next year. So again, no chance of her joining the business.
Okay.
I have
so
not,
it's your baby only.
I am not building this business for legacy
or empire, just for
I
yourself.
am building this business to be able to empower other businesses.
Yes.
Of course, at some point of time, I will, not be able to run with the time. There will be another company that will come and buy us over, or maybe we will grow big and buy somebody over.
Yes.
Right? But no, this is not a family business, so to speak.
But how you take it now when women are coming? So, like, so many businesses are getting open, and especially a woman entrepreneurs we are seeing in every field of business or any sphere of segments. When you see them, what comes to your mind, or you interact, you have come across, share their journey? Now, I think things have changed a lot.
Well,
At
yes,
your time, it
a
was
lot
quite
of things
tough.
have changed. A lot of things have changed, and I feel happy to see women entrepreneurs. You look at T Hub, for instance, right? Unfortunately, when I was part of the T Angel program, I was literally the only woman in the room.
Oh,
So we were 13
which batch?
startups. This was T Angel
Okay.
6, cohort 6.
Okay,
Or cohort 5? Okay.
maybe that time.
So-
You're the first woman, I must say.
I was the only woman in that room
T
of
Hub
13 startups.
okay.
And now I'm seeing a lot more other
Yes.
women. And you have women entrepreneurs in every field, be it robotics. I have a friend who's making the first gin in India. Okay. I was today reading a story about a lady who started up a microbrewery.
Yeah.
She was from Vizag. She's moved to Goa. I have another lady who's, working on instrumentation
Yes.
of the medical devices, calibration and
Yes.
instrumentation. So women are everywhere. I think women were always everywhere, but they were not spoken about so openly.
Yes, yes, the awareness.
When we were younger, we did not have the exposure to media that is now available for everyone, right? You, at the click of a button, you can open Economic Times and read about, everything. Back in our days, it was the newspaper with the morning cup of coffee that you would look at, and then you would forget about the newspaper and go to work.
Yes. How do you see, do you think, I mean, as you have seen your girls growing and you were working, I think they are becoming more powerful and more, you can say, fruitful to the society if they see their mother working.
Of course.
As compared to they see their mothers, they're just doing the household work. Of course, they are also very important work, but people say, oh, their children will be more, intelligent, or people say, oh, unko care karo. They'll be more fruitful for the society. But women who are working, do you think, if you do the comparison part, I think their kids are more mature, independent, and they get mature early?
I don't think so. To be honest, I don't think so. There are certain societies where women are not allowed to work.
Yeah.
Okay? Even in those societies, those communities, women are now coming out and becoming entrepreneurs. I'm a Marwadi.
Yeah, that's my
Being
point.
a Marwadi, I was probably the first girl
I must say.
on, from my dad's side of the family who went out to work.
Yes.
It was taboo.
Yeah.
It was complete taboo. They were like,
मारवाड़ी girl बाहर जाएगी.
काम करेगी. And I was like, जी हाँ, मैं ऑफिस जाऊंगी, मैं काम करूंगी. तेरे को क्यों काम करना है? And it was like, why do you want to go out of the house? Why don't you want to stay inside the house? And I was very lucky. My dad was in the services. He was an
That's why he understood, because Marwaris mostly they are in business.
Yeah, and so he was okay with me going out.
He must have faced so much now when he was sending his daughter out, because Marwaris, I have seen, they have a community where they, all businesses, ek dusre ke saath hi they do it. Like, they don't allow people to go out of their community. So it was a big fight for you also. Now I think after you, the girls have got the support in your society. This girl, this woman can go, we can also do it.
Yeah.
It's have gone in a positive way.
Now it's much better. Now it's much, much better. I have a niece who's a lawyer, and I'm told she's a pretty lawyer. I have a niece who's a journalist. So they're doing all kinds of things now. Some of the girls have, started going to office with their husbands and taking care of a part of their husband's family business. So all of that is now happening. But in my days, that was taboo.
I know. You crossed that time, that's a victory. So you are a role model for so many girls around.
I guess that's because I was a tomboy growing up. I wasn't the kind who played with dolls. I was the kind who played football on the road with the boys.
Okay.
In the colony.
Okay.
And I guess that's how it's been, so different for me, the whole journey.
So I just want to one more question that I have. Like, you started your journey at 50, what kind of stress, the fitness, the mental awareness, because mental awareness, we don't talk much about it. And when the 40 starts, as so many videos we are seeing and around, you know, a lot of hormone changes are happening, a lot of mental pressure a woman go through. And that when you were into your 50s, how you were balancing all these things? Who were guiding you? What was your guiding source? Working on your mental strength, your physical strength, all this.
So when you, and this is true for men and women, I am 100% sure that men have hormonal changes as well.
Of course.
Because
but they
you know,
don't talk much.
People
Women are more
talk
focused.
about, oh, she's in a bad mood, it must be that part of the
Hormonal
month.
changes. One word has been given.
Yeah, but I'm sure men have it too. The way I have found it easier to, you know, take care of my stress, whatever happens, I exercise every day. I have 2 dogs.
Okay.
I have 2 puppies. Not puppies anymore, grown up, but yeah. So I take them for walks. I take them for nice long walks where they are tired, I'm tired. But some amount of exercise definitely releases happy hormones in your head, right? It makes you, gives you the strength to carry on for the rest of the day, so to speak. And what else do? I like to read a lot. So I take some time to read a bit. I do see my counselor at least once a month. I would like it to be once a week, once in 10 days, but it doesn't happen.
But
So once a month it is.
so I mean, that was never a barrier. Like, it's just a myth. Like, you know, oh, at 50 you're starting your business. Whatever you want to do, if you're focused, you can go ahead.
So if women are working in corporate jobs and they are retiring at what, the age of 58, 60, right?
Yeah.
Then what? That means that if I had continued working with my ex-employer, I would have also worked till 58.
Yes.
Maybe I would have been counting, okay, now I'm 54, another 4 years and then I retire. Right?
Yes.
But I would have worked.
True.
So that's all it is.
And yeah.
There is, of course, a lot of myths about, and I think, unfortunately, most of these myths have been spread by women.
Okay.
I'm extremely sorry to say so.
Okay.
But most of these myths have been spread by women. There are glass ceilings in the corporate world. That's a fact of life. Nothing that we can do about it. There are certain boundaries. There are certain domains which are very masculine or male dominant. But women today are breaking through those barriers. You know, I feel very happy when I watch the Republic Day parade and I see women fighter pilots, women in the Navy, women in the Army. It's an amazing thing to see. And if they are able to, you know, some years back they used to say, no, girls can't be fighter pilots because they will become collateral damage. But if it's being accepted, then why is it not then going to be
pilots
accepted
are women.
here?
Good pilots are there. Army, everywhere they are there.
Absolutely.
My one question is that, you know, earlier we don't used to talk about this separation parts and divorces. This was a big word used to be called for the woman. That time you came out. And how you see now scenario, like people are accepting it, no doubt. What message you would like to give on this, you know? If there is a second life which you can live, right?
Of course, there's a second
People
life.
always
You
think
have
it's
to
the end of it. Like,
you,
but
you have to
started your-
decide how you want to do it. My case was a little different. For me, my girls were my priority. Nothing else.
You want to set some example for them?
Nothing else came above the girls. It was not an example that I was setting. I was probably very scared of rejection. I was very scared of, you know, if I get into another relationship or get married again, how is it going to affect my daughter psychologically? Right? You have those fears. And honestly, between the girls and the office and the home, I didn't have time for anybody else extra. Right? I only had 24 hours in a day.
True.
Where do I get the extra time for another man in my life?
But I wanted to, you should give a message to the women out there who somewhere need some inspiration. I mean, if they're watching your video, I mean, I don't know, somebody life change when and where, you know, seeing something. They just
so always never give up. Always stay positive. And there's something that my mom used to say, that if the bad times haven't lasted, if the good times haven't lasted, the bad times won't last either.
True.
There's always a silver lining.
Yes.
Look for that.
True, true.
If your time's going on bad right now, wait. It's not going to be constant. It's going to go back into good times. Right?
True.
If you are dealing with depression, if you are dealing with separation or a breakup, please take care of your mental health. Please go see a psychologist. In our days, going to a psychologist was again
There was
a
nothing.
taboo.
People were not
Yeah.
aware.
But I was very lucky. I had friends who I could bounce ideas with. I had friends who I could call at 2 o'clock in the morning and talk to. And those girls were my rocks. They were my support. Of course, I'm sure they had fights in their respective homes. What is wrong with your friend? Why is she calling at the odd hours? But I was very lucky to have the support of these friends. And it's true for any facet of life, right? You always need to have a few good friends who you can count on. You know, you may have 8,000 followers on LinkedIn or Facebook. But who are those 5 people that you can count on, that you can call at 11 o'clock in the night and they will be there the next minute?
True, true.
You need to have that. If you have that, then you're sorted. You need to be confident in yourself. Don't listen to the noise around you that keeps pulling you down. Like, you know, the story of, you've heard of the story of the deaf frog?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where the others kept saying, oh, there's no way he can jump out. He
Yes.
cannot jump out
Yes.
of the well. All these frogs in the well. And this guy kept trying. He tried and tried and tried. And he got out of the well. And then somebody asked, the monkey that was outside asked him, you know, they were all telling you that you can't get out. How did you get out of the well? And he's like, I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying.
True.
That's how he got out.
But I have one more question. You said about the backup plan, you manage everything. When you were starting your startup, maybe some people have come up with a positive response. Some people must be saying at this stage, why are you going it? Why are you spending a lot
I
of
heard
money?
a lot of that.
Is there a time you were in confusion?
I actually heard a sentence, ladki hai kya hi kar legi. I actually heard that.
Yeah.
She's a woman. What's she gonna do? Raising funds for the startup was tough because people were under the impression that, oh, your daughters are in Australia. You're gonna after some time just wind up and go to Australia. Then what happens to the business? They were not prepared to understand that my daughters are in Australia. They have a life of their own. That is not my life. My life is here.
Yes.
If at all I do go to Australia, of course I'm going to go to Australia. I'm going to go for short breaks and come back.
Holiday, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be going and living there, at least not right now. Maybe when I'm in my 80s, right? But at least definitely not in the next 10, 20 years.
So you have to really explain them well, you know, like
Nobody
lot of
wants to hear
explanation.
it. The other issue that I did face as a woman entrepreneur was, so investors again, they're very happy for me to give the presentation. And then after the presentation, all the financial questions are asked of my co-founder.
Okay, not to you.
Not
the
to
main
me.
management you are doing. Great.
My co-founder is more of a tech guy.
Oh, yes.
Okay? And he will look at me. And one investor actually said, oh, just because she was your boss in your previous organization, now you're still looking to her for answers. And I was quite hurt by that.
Yeah.
And then I had to explain to that guy, sir, it's okay if you don't want to give us the money, but between my co-founder and me, we have divided our jobs in such a way.
Yes, who are experienced and yeah.
I take care of making sure that I get customers and, the investor relation. Funny's job is to take care of the tech support. He helps with the integrations. He helps with bank integrations. His job is not the Excel or the Tally.
So I think the
बहुत मुश्किल
mindset,
था.
being a woman managing the finance, and they don't trust so easily. I think the trust issues are there.
There are, and surprisingly, have you heard of the study that was done? Most women will not take loans. If they do take loans, 100% repayment is done in each and every case. There is not a single woman loan,
Yes.
defaulted.
Yes. Yes. True.
Men will default on the loans.
Yes.
Women will not.
Yes.
They may get delay, but they will
But they'll
always
pay.
pay it back. And still men think that women don't know how to manage finances.
I think that need to be, you faced it. I think that has to be changed.
You have to remember, let's go back, say about 50 years, 60 years back, right? When women were the primary caretaker at home and not so much going out and
outside,
working, right? I'm not sure how much you would remember of, say, your parents or your grandparents. There was a limited amount of money that was given to
Yes.
the lady of the house
To manage
run the house for the whole month. In that, she will manage the education of the children, their uniforms, their books, their food, right? Food for the whole house, clothes, any gifts for in-laws coming, in-laws going, some wedding, some function, and she would still save money and keep. Now you tell me, are women not better finance managers?
Yes. And
Think
they
about it.
They
Don't have that MBA degree,
Yes.
right? Or they don't have the master's degree. Some of them were forced to stop studies in 7th, 8th, 9th. But don't you agree with me that women are better finance
And
managers?
in emergency, they used to give money also to their husbands.
Yeah.
Yes.
when this demonetization happened,
Yeah.
the amount of money that's come out from the women,
Yes.
and the men didn't know what to do with it.
Yes. True. That is true.
All the savings.
The saving she was doing. That's true. So I think you have somewhere crossed that myth, I think you have proved it. And after seeing, I think people will change their mind, that women can do wonders.
They should. Every woman is special. Every
Yes.
woman has the magic in her.
And especially getting the startup done on that terms, that's a big
Absolutely.
challenge.
Every woman has the magic in her. She just has to believe in herself. She has to listen to her inner voice. That's all it takes.
True,
Trust
true.
me.
So that you proved it. I mean, that's the different aspect. But getting into that same business, that phenomenal, what you're doing all these years. For the company, it's okay. But doing it for your own baby, like for your own company, that's a big challenge, So you have actually proved it.
Of course it is. The first biggest challenge, what was the first biggest challenge you faced today, Neha?
Okay, so that's my interview now. Okay, let me think about it. Biggest challenge
Today.
I don't know. I mean, I just face it as it comes. I face it. It's like handling.
Was getting out of home, leaving your little one behind.
Yeah, that's
one of the biggest challenges.
That is, managing. Yeah, who will take care of my kid and
exactly, right?
When you're
You did
alone.
it.
Yeah.
Right? When you decide to step out of your house, then you should be prepared to take every risk possible.
Exactly.
Okay?
Good line.
And if a woman is able to step out of the house and, be able to take whatever risks are required in order to run the family, run the business, run herself at her job, it's only a mindset, and every woman has the power in herself to change it.
True.
Because men are changing as well.
Yes, things are changing. I must say, I mean, that was eye-opening journey of you. And so what's the future plans now? How you're growing up? Any plans you have to go other cities or like
So we currently have customers across the country. But yes, I am, like I said, looking for funding so that I can scale up the business. Apart from scaling up the business in our country, there are SAARC nations close by. Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. They do not have as strong economic infrastructure as India does. So I would like to probably, visit, understand. I've done some preliminary studies. I think with enough money, we can open up over there and get higher profits as well.
Great. So now out of the box, now this is your plans. I think you will do it, no doubt in that. And you
you.
inspire so many women out there. I think your story is really eye-opener, I must say. And I don't know, I feel so connected with you. I would like to interview more on your own other journeys where your success. So thank you so much, Alka.
Thank you for
being
having
with us.
me here.
No, thanks to you for giving your time and sharing your open heart like journey, you know. So great job, doing well. Congratulations and more success to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Neha.
Yeah. So it was really an inspirational journey with Alka in T-Hub, new startups, new success for her. I mean, I must say, this is a must-watch interview for all the women who are there who want to do something in their life and start their own business. We are all capable of doing everything. So for more updates, keep watching iDream. Till then, goodbye.